102 gets thrown around a lot. In the case of the Fischer Ranger series for 2023, it's actually true. Everything on this ski is redesigned. The only thing that carries over from this specific ski that we have in front of us, the Ranger 102, is the name Fischer Ranger 102. Nothing else carries over from their previous skis. Hi, this is Phil from SkiTalk.com, and let's talk about the new Ranger 102.
Hi, I'm Tricia from SkiTalk.com, and I'm joined also with
Winks from SkiTalk.com.
I'm going to start by saying I have liked the previous versions of the 102. It was a fan favorite of mine when we had a women's specific version called the My Ranger, and I skied it at Alta, had a blast. I went to a big mountain clinic at Alta and just totally had a blast with it. It was a ski that Phil never really warmed up to, but if you caught me with a little bit of extra snow, that was my ski of choice. And yet I got on the new version and I loved it as much, if not more. I feel like for me and my body size, it feels like it's a little more powerful and a little calmer.
Now this pair here is Wink's personal pair. So Winks, why don't you get into a little more about the ski since you've spent probably the lion's share of time on it?
Yeah, so coming off the previous version, like right away, I was nervous about the redesign. You know, I really loved the previous 102, so it was a little scary at first. The moment I skied this new version, I was immediately like all my nerves were put to rest. It is definitely a little softer. It's a little more accessible. It feels like a better off-piste ski than the previous version, but still on-piste, it does not feel like you're losing much, if at all. It's almost like a sort of trade-off in some ways, like whereas the previous version felt like it was a little stiffer, maybe a little harder edge bite in terms of on-piste. It didn't have a lot of off-piste performance. Whereas this one I feel like gives you a wider range of versatility. I had this at Alta for a week. We got some fresh snow, 6 inches one day, maybe another 8 another, and I really felt like it could float. Of course, while you always want a wider ski, when this was all I had, I felt like it was able to perform, excellent and tremendous. I was really happy with it.
And to be fair, I typically don't like a ski much over 105 ever, just because I feel like it's a little bit too wide for me. And the 102 is kind of a sweet spot. Some of my favorite powder days have been on skis in this range.
Yeah, I mean, I think for women especially, I see a lot of women who, as soon as they get over 100, they definitely don't want to go far over it. And if they do, they call that, just their powder ski only. Right. And I think for a lot of women, this might be able to serve that purpose.
Well, and a ski in this category also is better when everything gets tracked out. The wider a ski gets, the harder it is to ski the snow that gets tracked out.
Right.
So why not optimize your whole day instead of switching out skis after things get tracked out?
Well, you've got a point there that actually Fischer addresses. I mean, we'll get into the point as far as your experience with them, but the range of this ski, the 102, is going to be anywhere from a 155 to a 190, which is probably one of the broadest ranges for a specific model of a ski.
So you're saying they do have adult sizes?
Yes, they do. So, in dimensions on this ski, here's a 136, 101, 126. Now, this even being the Ranger 102 with a 101 millimeter waist shows that they are scaling the sizing of the ski. Now, the other thing that we see with this ski here, it's in a 176, which is the reference size, is a 17 meter radius, which if you're looking at only a 136 tip in a ski this wide, that means going to that 126 tail allows that ski actually to finish the turn really nicely, where the tail does follow through the tip. Now, but getting away from women's specific skis, you've got a little bit to add there.
That's correct. I started a thread on SkiTalk.com a few years ago asking what the importance was of having gender-specific skis, and I brought up a few different names that have been somewhat controversial with women, and one of them was that Fischer called all of their women-specific skis the My version of whatever the men's version was, so that it was the My Ranger. And women thought that sounded a little bit frivolous. We would much prefer to have skis that are scaled in flexed and scaled in construction and size so that it goes to a broader base. So guys who are a little smaller don't have to go to a women's specific ski, and women who are a little bit taller and more athletic don't necessarily have to go to a unisex ski. It's just skis with different flexes and shapes across the board.
Yeah, and I like that they're offering them in different colors.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So as far as, again, you've spent the most time on a ski, so I'm going to pass it over to you. Who do you feel is going to get the most out of this new ski?
I feel like the people who are going to get the most out of the ski are those looking for maximum versatility, who may not care about a ski that's the hardest charging or the stiffest ski out there. They want a ski that they can cover pretty much everywhere you can go, maybe even a good travel ski. They don't know what the conditions they're going to get. Maybe they're going over to Colorado, maybe they're going up to Canada, and they just don't know what they're going to get, but they don't want to take, a lot of skis. I mean, it's expensive sometimes. Mm-hmm. So definitely those who are looking for maximum versatility, that just comes in a little wider platform. Still performs great on piste.
And Trish, who do you think where the shortcomings are?
I think who it's not for is probably that person who spends most of their time on groomers. There's no need to go this wide, and you can go get the curve for that.
So, and if you follow our reviews on SkiTalk.com, you also know that we also have added insider tips and also things that we would change. The one thing I would change in the ski is bring back the pink.
Oh, absolutely.
That pink was so sharp in the ski, and I think probably a lot more guys bought the pink than the women did.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw this Celeste color, I thought right away, like, I want that over the gray.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And please don't forget, skiing is fun.
It is.
Yeah. To read the full review of this ski, please go to SkiTalk.com and click on the review tab.
Please also hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more reviews and other ski-related content, and add thoughts in the comment section below.
Of course, follow SkiTalk.com on all of our social media channels.
Popcorn was popped during the production of this video.